the Nets and the Wizards ready to go. Let's check out the starting lineups for the Nets. Richard Jefferson, Mikey Moore, Jason Collins back as a starter. And in the backcourt, Jason Kidd and Vince Carter. For the depleted Washington Wizards, Jarvis Hayes up front with Etan Thomas and Antoine Jamison in the backcourt. Antonio Daniels, who's been playing very well, and Deshaun Stevenson. The Nets have won 11 of the last 12 here in New Jersey, and you go back to the year 2000, the Wizards right there with the Warriors, the Clippers, and the Bulls in terms of having the difficulties playing here at Continental Airlines Arena. There's one-time Net assistant Eddie Jordan in his 4th season as head coach of the Wizards, and a good friend of Lawrence Frank. They were on the Net staff together this past summer. Eddie Jordan signed to a 3-year contract extension. The officiating crew headed by Jim Clark in his 19th NBA campaign. The Nets at 35-40. The Wizards come in at 39-36. In this, the first of 2 straight. They'll play again in Washington on Tuesday night. And at this point, the Nets can finish anywhere from 6th to the number 8 spot, and also they can still miss the playoffs. They're in 7th, game in front of 8th place Orlando, 2 over 9th place Indiana. And tonight, Orlando home from Memphis. Indiana is home for Boston. The fall-away attempt by Jamison, and back comes Jefferson. Kidd finds Carter. He's wide open for 3. Yes.
Well, it's a beautiful start for the Nets, Marv, after last night. One of the things they really want to do is make sure there's not a hangover effect, and it's a good way to get it down the floor. Everybody running, and Carter pulling up for that long-range shot gets them off to a good start.
Well, the Nets missed their first 9 shots last night. Jarvis Hayes, who has been getting the opportunity, receiving more playing time, but comes in averaging just under 7 points per game. Nets last night shot just 34%. They were down 16-5 right at the start. And as we mentioned earlier, their worst loss since they were beaten by the Magic by 33 back in early February. So it's actually the second lopsided, the most lopsided defeat of the season. That's a 3 for Daniels. So Washington right back, and they have a 5-3 lead.
And one of the things about last night, too, was that, the lack of focus, and maybe a little start right here with the lack of focus. 2 turnovers in a row after Vince Carter's long 3. But I think one of the things, too, that Lawrence Frank talked to us a little bit about before the game, Marv, is that let's not let this paint area get in the way. They want to make sure that they do not allow the team. Last night, the Bulls just dominated in the paint, going by people with the ball, so they don't want those types of shots.
And the other factor is that Thomas is rejected and fouled, so Etan Thomas will go to the line with Gilbert Arenas and Caron Butler sidelined by injury and out the rest of the way. It gives opportunities for other guys who will receive more playing time and are, not that they wouldn't like to see Arenas and Butler with the club, but they're pretty happy about getting the extra minutes.
Most pros are. You get a chance to play, and it's a different type of look also, because you think about it, Gilbert Arenas, and deservedly so, gets a lot of the shots and controls the tempo for the Wizards, but there'll be other guys now who get a chance to show what they can do, and it's more or less when you're scouting them now, it's not how do we stop Gilbert and Butler and Jamison, the top 3. Now how do we stop them from a team standpoint?
Well, Etan Thomas, only a 58% free throw shooter, able to convert both. Washington with 7 unanswered. 1:40 gone by. We are just underway. Collins sets the screen. Carter runs into the pick. Now Carter with the spin, and it's knocked away. Good play by Thomas coming out to help.
It sure was, and the thing about Vince Carter just then, maybe a little bit too much dribbling. A couple of times off the screens, as you touched on, Marv, and then he takes it to the basket. Well, 4 or 5 guys are waiting for that move.
Here's Carter. Carter has had 2 outstanding games against the Wizards. The Nets winning the previous two. They won in Washington in overtime. That was back in November. And remember, Vince hit that straightaway three as time expired in regulation. That was with the old new basketball.
The old new one.
And it
confused everybody.
Yes, he got the drop on it. Here's Carter again from downtown. And in that first game against Washington, Carter was game high with 34. Jason Kidd had a triple-double. Here in New Jersey, Nets won by 12, and Vince with 27 in that game. That's off the leg of Jefferson and carries all the way down. Jamison was looking for a kick-ball call.
Well, that'll be interesting, too, because if it's not a kickball, it goes all the way down the other end.
And now, yeah, they make the change. Jim Clark says yes, kick ball. And as you mentioned, they will not go down to the other end. They'll inbound in front court.
And they will save 6 seconds. So Eddie Jordan doesn't have to take the ball out down from his end of the court down where he is and push it all the way up with only 8 seconds left in the clock.
They reset to 14. Daniels tries to use the pick. Jamison. Shot clock to 4. It's down to 1. Kidd's pass picked off. Did not have the grip on the ball. We saw a streaking Carter try to get it to him. Here's Jamison for 3. Rebounded by Kidd. Kidd met by Jamison. Antonio Daniels, 2 games back against the Bobcats in a loss to Charlotte. Had a 17-assist game, a career high. Washington turns it over. Jefferson and Carter again open for 3.
Yeah, the breakouts are just not there, Marv. They're trying. Jefferson in particular is really the only net other than Kidd running the floor properly on the breaks.
Carter has attempted 5 of the 6 shots that the Nets have been able to get off. Jamison line drives it home.
That's what we touched on. The way he can score, he's a tough out defensively for whoever really gets the assignment. Jason Collins really started on him, but he'll bring Collins away from the basket. Collins won't be able to stay with him for the jumper. He won't be able to stay with him really for the dribble drive also.
Jefferson. And back comes Stevenson. John Stevenson, formerly of the Utah Jazz, getting the playing time with Washington. Finding Thomas, who is hit, and the foul is called on Jason Collins. Collins complaining about the foul. Crowd does not like it. They felt that Thomas lost his balance right here.
Yeah, may have, I don't know if Collins really leaned into him either, could have. But when you see a player who catches the ball get knocked to the floor, you usually get that call.
Stevenson able to raise over Carter. Wizards now lead 11-8.
No, that's not going to work.
It is an offensive foul. Mikey Moore set the screen, and he moved to try and find some room for Kidd. And now Lawrence Frank makes a change. Josh Boone will check in.
Mikey Moore indicating there, he says he's got to wait for me to get out there and set the screen. That's usually true. The guards do have to wait more, but I think that time Mikey did not jump out fast enough. He kind of walked his way into a screen.
Moore committing a second foul, so he takes a seat. Collins defending on Jamison. Here's Jamison, and Collins got a piece of it.
Nice work by Collins there with the body also.
Carter again for 3. Yes, well, he's hitting the shot. He's 4 of 6. That is his 3rd from downtown.
As we all know, he can put him up in bundles, and that's what you need him to do. But I think what they need him to do more is continue to ride it. Wednesday night, he started this way against the Hawks and kind of let up a little bit, too.
A rainbow attempt comes up short. Stevenson, though, on the steal, challenges Boone and is fouled. So Stevenson with the air ball, but was able to hang in, made the good defensive play, and he drew the foul.
A little slip. You'll see the air ball go up, and then everybody thinks the team is going to go back down, but then you have the kind of quick slip coming in, and he gets it right there, and boom. You know, Collins trying to trigger it and get it to Kidd as much as possible. That time, the easier play would have been if he were falling out just to give it to Boone.
What an unusual start this is in terms of the stats. You look at the Wizards, all 5 Washington players have scored for the Nets. Vince Carter has all their 11 points. Carter is 4 of 6 from the field. He's taken all but 2 shots for the Nets.
Wizards, Marv had all 5 of their starters in double figures last night against the Cavs, so that's the way they want to try to play it. A 5-man team here instead of having 3 major scorers.
Here's Carter for 3. I was about to say, not a good shot.
That was one of those, are you kidding me? Wow.
The Nets with a 14-12 lead. And Vince Carter with all 14 points. Shot clock to 6. Jamison rebounded by Collins. And Kidd pushes. Carter for 3 again. Kept alive. And then the foul is called on Hay. No, it's the other way. Jim, it's been a most unusual start here tonight. The Nets have a 2-point lead. It's been all Vince Carter. He has all of the Nets' points. He's 5 of 8 from the field. He has been doing it from downtown.
He sure has been. He came out firing, got the first look, and look at the rotation on that basketball. When he gets that going, Mark, that's when you know he's got the shooter's touch. Terrific extension, filling it up from long range. The Nets start to look for him. Even the one that he missed right after that shot there from the corner looked like it was good. And if you do the quick math here, Marv, with 14 points in just about 6 minutes, I have him just under 110 points for the rest of the night.
Were you a math major at Duke? It's not necessarily a good thing for the team. We'll see how this evolves.
But it's fun to watch once in a while.
Carter 4 of 6 from beyond the 3-point line. That last net foul was charged to Kidd. Nets with a 14-12 lead. 5.5 remaining in the first. Marv Albert, Jim Spanarkel from Continental Airlines Arena. Here's Stevenson slashing his way and then throws it out. With the shot clock running down, that is a 3 for Jarvis Hayes.
And I know that shot ends up coming from the outside. The problem is, though, that you saw once again, the penetration to the middle of the floor. That's what the Nets have to stop.
And as Jefferson makes his move, 3-second violation is called, and the hesitation led to that 3-second call.
Look what happens. The drive comes in, and then you have slow recoveries here and slow recovery there, and you just can't get around that quickly. And that's a shot from the left side deep, but it all starts on the right wing with the dribble going to the middle of the floor.
Nets with their 7th turnover in this first quarter. Roger Mason, 3-year man from Virginia, who had a terrific game last time the Wizards were here in New Jersey, has checked in. And as has Darius Singano. Traveling violation is called. Travel on Thomas. So the Nets get it back. Nets with interest. 2 other games going tonight and not going the net way. Orlando at home leads Memphis 35-18 early second quarter. And Indiana over Boston in the second, 35-26. Carter now played by Mason. They clear it out. Now here's the double. Carter draws the foul, and he'll head to the line for 2.
This is just a classic case of riding Vince Carter when he's got that confidence going, Marv. You have to take him and get as many points on the board early as you can. Give him his breaks throughout the course of the first half and then see what he has left in the third and fourth quarters. But he's feeling it, and he's in like one of those zones right now where no one can stop him.
Richard Jefferson sitting down. Clifford Robinson and Coach John Nockbar have checked in. Nockbar comes on for Jefferson. Here's Robinson for Collins. Wizards last night lost to Cleveland at home 99-94. Washington shot 51% from the field. LeBron James only 7 of 23, but 14 of his 25 came in the fourth quarter. And the Wizards hurt themselves with 23 turnovers, leading to 24 points by the Cavs. Nets hurting themselves here in the first quarter with 7 turnovers. Nets also have 14 fouls, so they go over the limit with the next one. Here's Hayes. Nice move, rubbing off knockball. And the Wizards lead 17-15.
At 6'8", 220 or thereabouts, he's got a real good body to be able to knock people off him defensively and then get his shot off.
As Carter thought he was fouled. Mason open. And Mason called for the foul. That's his second in the collision with Carter.
Fouls number 8, Roger Mason Jr., his second, team second.
See here, I think Vince Carter knew he was going to take the hit right now, Marv, on this one and try to draw the foul, but I don't think he realized he was going to get it at the same timing where he was a little bit off balance, and that which knocked him down pretty good, actually.
Nets now have Kidd and Carter at the guards with Boone, Robinson, and Nockbar up front. Here's Carter on a catch and shoot. Boone with the save.
I would say they're riding Carter.
And Carter goes at Mason, rejected by Thomas.
Maybe a little too much right now.
Carter now 5 of 11. He's taken 11 of the Nets' 13 shots. There's Singaila to the crossover. Beautiful move by Darius Singaila.
Boy, he got a pretty good defensive player, too. Clifford Robinson out about 15 feet away and really went at him and isolated quickly with the aggressive drive.
Singaila, 4-year player out of Wake Forest, signed as a free agent from the Bulls with much experience overseas.
He looks like he wants that isolation again, even though this time they've switched up on him with Boone on him. See if he can go by Boone.
Pass intended for Thomas. Last touch by Carter. And here is Hayes. Marcus Williams had just checked in. Able to feel that long rebound. Just under 2.5 left in this first quarter. And the Wizards up by 4. Carter for 3. Carter. Vince Carter off the follow, puts it down.
Interesting enough, too, Mark. I mean, he finishes that. You see his reaction after he finished that dunk. I think he's more annoyed with himself for not hitting the jumper just then.
17 points for Carter.
2 minutes to go in the quarter, 2.
Daniels gets it down low. This time Jarvis not able to connect. Carter being played by Mason. Williams played on a switch by Singaila. And Williams for 3. Rebounded by Thomas. The nerve of another net to attempt a shot.
Yeah, what's going on here? Where was Vince? Having just under 90 points per game for the night.
He made an adjustment. Beautiful quick release from Mason from 3-point territory.
And truth be told here, Marv, I think Lawrence Frank, if we had a chance to ask him a question, he's not real happy with how easily these shots are coming from the Wizards side on the offensive end.
He's right out in front of you, Jim. Just scream out. Clifford Robinson hits for 3, and he is the first net other than Vince Carter to put up some points. Wizards now lead 22-20. Here's Singaila. Darius Singaila missed 45 games this season with a herniated disc and has been seeing quite a bit of action as of late. I mentioned one-time member of the Chicago Bulls. Nockbar is fouled. So he will enter the line. The foul is on Thomas.
Here's that miss of Carter's shot, and then he finishes it off with a nice jam through the middle of the floor. And then punches the air, a little upset. You see him right there. The follow through, not happy with the shot. He loves the dunk, but he wants that shot to go down more importantly.
Antoine Wright will come on for Vince Carter.
May have jammed the finger or the nail in the rim.
I know that's something you can relate to from your playing career.
Yeah, unfortunately, it wasn't on the rim. Using the clipper maybe a little too hard.
Down to 24 seconds to go in this first quarter. The Nets are down by 2. Split-second differential between the game clock and shot clock. Right now defending against Mason. This is Donnell Taylor putting moves on Wright. Jamison for 3 as time expires. 8-0 run by the Nets, and the game is tied. Time here, though, for the Dunkin' Donuts fast break of the game.
And it's only the 5th fast break point of the game for Richard Jefferson in the Nets, but Kidd gets it out in a hurry and pushes it and starts it with Richard Jefferson finishing it. One of the things about this is the Wizards are doing a good job of balancing the floor, not allowing many of these breakout tides. Boy, do the Nets ever need them to pick up the easy buckets. One of the things they've gotten away from because of different strategies defensively that they've seen.
Nets now shooting 41%. Washington at 45%. Antonio Daniels back on the floor, running the point. Singano backs his way. And a bad pass. Jamison throwing off the mark. So the Nets get it back with a chance to recapture the lead. Mikey Moore has checked back in. Moore up front with Collins and Jefferson. Here's Carter for 3. Comes back to Kidd on a back tap. Carter spins and scores. He has 22 points.
And I still think he's thinking about the jump shot too, Marv, because even on that one, he felt, and it looked as if he thought that ball was going through the hoop. So a little frustrating for him with his jumpers.
10 unanswered points by the Nets. Jamison shoots the 3. Wizards lead by 1.
Well, you have a guy who can shoot the ball at about 37% from the three-point stripe like that. Big forwards just are not comfortable coming out to guard a guy that far out on the floor.
9 points for Jamison. He leads the Wizards. And the outside official, Derek Collins, with the call on Stevenson. Away from the ball. Second team foul called on Washington. Now Stevenson defending on Carter. Kidd shoots the 3. Rebounded by Jamison. Washington up by 1. 4.5 left in this first half. Marv Albert, Jim Spanarkel from Continental Airlines Arena. First of the home and home between these two clubs. Haywood. And back comes Kidd.
And look at the balance. 3 and 4 blue jerseys are back.
Carter from downtown. 25 points. He is 6 for 10 from beyond the three-point line.
Interesting enough, too, the Wizards had pretty good defensive positioning just then, but not for that delayed break with the long-range jumper.
Foul charge to the Nets. It is on Collins.
Now you watch Kidd coming down the floor. He knows exactly where Carter is on the play, Marv, and he looks at it, directs the traffic, and says, okay, if everybody's going to be sitting back waiting for me, I can't go in there and penetrate and probe. Let me find some opportunities for the long-range shot.
Coach John Nockbar is back, replacing Jason Collins, who just collected his second foul. Nets 39 of the Wizards 37. Shot clock to 4. Daniels. Nice touch by Antonio Daniels. The game tied at 39. And you can see the Nets have already unleashed 17 3-pointers. They're shooting at a better percentage from downtown. Knockball with a beautiful move, driving across the lane to give the Nets a 2-point lead.
That's usually when he's at his best, when he's really driving and attacking the hoop, because then obviously his 3-point shot, guys don't come out on him when he shows the intent to drive.
Anderson forced it, and the ball back to the Nets. Jarvis Hayes, Eton Thomas checked back in, replacing Brendan Haywood and Darius Ngila. Let's try to turn it from a poor performance last night in Chicago. And it's been all Vince Carter here at the start. Knockball called for the travel. It's a 41-39 lead for the Nets. Just under 3 left first half. Stevenson rebounded by Jamison, and he is fouled. So Antoine Jamison to the line for the first time.
Fouls number 15, Vince Carter. His first second team foul. Antoine Jamison.
Foul on Carter. That's his first. Antoine Jamison in his 9th year out of North Carolina, teammate of Vince Carter with the Tar Heels, and on draft day 9 years ago they were traded for each other. The deal made between Golden State and Toronto. Game is tied at 41. Nets have Kidd and Carter at the guards. Jefferson with Boone and Knockbar up front. Jefferson wide open for 3. Yes. A straightaway for Richard Jefferson.
And obviously one of the things the Nets have to do is try to get more guys involved rather than just Vince Carter. Distribute the basketball and get a little bit more of the touches going RJ's way.
That's now 9 of 18 from downtown. Tripping foul. It is on Jefferson.
24, Richard Jefferson, his first
13 foul on the Nets. Wizards also have 3. Hayes will put it in play. Hayes with Jamison and Thomas on the front line. Daniels and Stevenson in the backcourt. Wizards back to their starting lineup. No hesitation from Jamison, and that's a 3.
He just followed and tracked the ball just then. I mean, he's incredible to watch him play. Real smart move just then to be aware of where the positioning was on the floor and where the opening would develop.
14 points for Jamison, and the game is tied. Kidd lost it, and then it's deflected out, but last touch by Hayes. Nets will have 7 on the 24. Lawrence Frank out at the center court directing the choreography for the Nets as the inbounds comes to Carter, goes to the fade and scores. 27 for Vince Carter.
We were looking for the lob just then also to the basket. It was just a little bit off target. But you throw up a little fall away and it's the same results. A little zone for the Nets right now.
Jamison trying to split through. He does. Will that count? He was fouled. The officials checking with each other. Does he get the continuation? No, he does not. Jim Clark talking it over with Phil Robinson. And it turns out to be a non-shooting foul. It's team foul number 4 on the Nets.
It's a nice move, Mark, but that foul occurred about 4 feet beyond before the shot even occurred.
Fadeaway attempt, and not a good foul by Boone.
Well, you never want to have a defender jumping at a shooter from the outside, especially when he's a 6'10", 6'11" guy going after it. Just less control of his body, and just bad things are going to happen out there if you're doing that.
So Deshaun Stevenson to the line, a 72% free throw shooter. Stevenson, a first-round draft pick of the Utah Jazz, right out of high school, went on to the Magic, signed as a free agent from Orlando. Now Eton Thomas departs, replaced by Darius Sangaila. Just a minute 19 remaining in this first half. The Nets have a 1-point lead. Game is tied at 46.
Those lack of free throws too, Marv, an indication of things like this with Jefferson going long again.
That's another 3 for Jefferson. He has 13 points. And that's his third 3 of the night. The Nets now 10 of 19 from beyond the arc. Nice fake by Hayes. Here's Jefferson again for 3.
Move over, Vince.
Richard Jefferson with all 16 of his points here in the second quarter. Back in the first, it was all Vince Carter. Only 2 other shots aside from Carter's attempts. Now Stevenson from downtown. That comes up empty.
Nobody wants to drive to the basket, evidently.
Eddie Jordan not happy about that last shot. 2-second differential between the game clock and shot clock.
And the Wizards have a foul to give if they need it.
Carter, and he comes up with air. 7 8/10 seconds to go in this first half. Timeout is called by the Wizards. Stay tuned for Heineken at the half. Nancy Newman back in our Yes studios. Look around the NBA with emphasis on the games involving Orlando and Indiana. We'll talk with Nets assistant coach Tom Barese. Look at the leading scorers and highlights. Nancy will have it all. Heineken at the half coming up momentarily. The Nets with a 52-48 lead on the Wizards. Clifford Robinson checking back in for the Nets. It's the first of 2 straight between these clubs. Very rare these days to see a home and home. They'll meet again in Washington on Tuesday night. All right, here's Stevenson. Blocked down to 3, down to 2, down to 1. All Stevenson gets it off. He scores and a foul. Foul on Robinson.
His first.
Well, there was a moment there, Marv, that I thought Stevenson actually lost track of where the clock was. He started to hesitate just a touch. When you take a look at the drive right here, I'm thinking, hey, he's not going to get a shot off. He's getting bumped and hit, and
he just did.
He got it in. Yeah, that's going to count.
Yeah, they're checking the videotape because zeros showing up on the scoreboard.
Yeah, that one's pretty clear right there. It's a good shot of it because you get to see the clock and the red lights around the backboard on that one.
Yeah, there should be no doubt about it. And Stevenson will also go to the line. Apparently got hit on the hand. Foul on Robinson as time ran out. And they are actually going to put 3/10 of a second back on the clock as Stevenson goes to the line, looking to bring the Wizards within 1. Stevenson looking for his 8th point.
One shot, guys.
Can be a catch and shoot with 3/10 of a second. But they'll have to do it in a hurry. All right, Jefferson. Will not even attempt. That's it. He just puts it on the floor as time runs out. He did inbound, and Carter fires it. Richard Jefferson just put it on the floor, and the clock did not start. It does not start until the player touches the ball. the competition will begin in the second half momentarily with the Nets leading 52-51. Vince Carter, 27 points on 10 of 19 from the field. 6 3-pointers, 6 of 11 from downtown. And the Nets overall 11 of 21 from beyond that three-point line. The Nets franchise record for most three-pointers in a game was set earlier in the season against the Wizards. They hit 16 of 32. How about Jason Kidd with 12 assists in the first half?
Running the show. He has the ball right now, and one of the things about him is he gets that ball in the backcourt a lot more. And we've seen him try to trigger breaks, and we've seen him get it to RJ and also to Vince on delayed for three-point shots tonight.
Carter slips it to Jefferson. He's had the hot hand, gives it to Moore, and Moore lays it home.
Clearly, you have to believe after listening to Tom Barese and figuring out what Lawrence Frank is going to talk about it during that half, get the ball going towards the basket. Tom mentioned no fool's goal.
That backdoor attempted pass picked off by Carter. 3-on-1. Kidd behind the back, and Jamison called for the foul. Got a piece of Moore's hand. And Moore will enter the line.
Nice defensive play there by Vince Carter to get the ball up from the little backdoor cut. A little slap. May have gotten him across the face, too, huh?
Yeah, right above the right eye. Clipped the hand and the eye. So Moore at the line.
Here's a little pass, and watch around the scoop here, and then he realizes that Jefferson coming to the bucket, that it's closing out on you. Then you have to start looking for opportunities and options.
Nets have their biggest lead of the game. They're up by 5. Just getting underway here in the third quarter. Marv Albert with Jim Spinarco. Third meeting of the season between these two clubs. Nets won the earlier two, including one in overtime back in mid-November in Washington. Shot clock is down to 3. Jamison had to flip it up. Ball did not make contact with the rim. That's why you heard the buzzer. And an offensive foul. Jefferson using the left hand to push out. So second on Jefferson.
If not for the push out, Marv, he would have been in pretty good shape because he had that angle going to the basket, but the official standing right there, an easy one to call with the arm extending like that.
It's actually the right hand as Richard was able to switch over to the left on the dribble. That's a 3 for Hayes. So the Wizards also hitting the shot from downtown. That's their 6th 3, and they're within 2.
Well, it's an exciting game for the fans to be watching, going up and down the floor with the long shots. But I'm not so sure from a strategy standpoint, neither one of these teams want to go up and down constantly from the outside.
With Carter posting up. Back comes Daniels, Antonio Daniels, and Deshaun Stevenson in the backcourt. Again, it's Hayes from downtown. Jarvis Hayes, who has struggled this season for the most part coming off the bench, averaging just under 7 points per game. But now with the absence of Caron Butler and Gilbert Arenas seeing more playing time, Wizards now lead by 1. Jefferson stripped. Stevenson pops it across to Jamison, and he hits a 3.
Time to talk things over if you're the Nets and Lawrence Frank, and that's exactly what they're going to do right now.
Nets call timeout.
And Jim, 3 straight threes, 2 for Hayes, 1 by Jamison for the 9-0 run, and off the steal, here come the Wizards again, and Hayes takes to the rim.
Once again, that lack of attention coming out here in the third quarter, right after a timeout. Nets are fairly efficient after timeouts also.
Carter over Jamison. 62-58. Washington. Nets stopped the run at 11 straight. A moment ago, they had a 5-point lead, and then Washington able to reel off the 11 unanswered is Hayes on a catch and shoot, and he is on fire. Jarvis Hayes, 8 of 12, 19 points. Hayes in his 4th season out of the University of Georgia. First-round pick back in 2003. Fade away by Carter. 31 points for Vince Carter.
But as those numbers just indicated, those turnovers are really mounting up against the Nets, and they're giving up scoring opportunities with pretty much all their turnovers.
Here's Stevenson. Rebounded by Jefferson. Kidd met by 3 Wizards. Now finds the open man. It's Moore. Mikey Moore, who has been able to get into the offense here in the 3rd quarter. He did sit down early after picking up 2 fouls. Nets trail 64-62. Good position by Thomas. And the foul, you can see Moore at Etan Thomas's jersey.
Thomas is a powerful guy, though, isn't he? He's put together, and when he gets that, he hasn't had many opportunities down there. But watch how, with his move to the basket, going to his right now, he kind of just takes Moore's body with him a little bit.
Etan goes 6'10", 260 in his 6th NBA season. Out of Syracuse, the guy's been injury hit throughout his career. Originally a first-round pick of the Mavericks, and then traded to Washington, a deal that involved Christian Laettner, Hubert Davis, Juwan Howard. The box out by Collins. That's down by 3. We're early in the 3rd. Both Indiana and Orlando in front in their games. This Kidd open for 3. Yes, that's his first field goal. He does have 15 assists.
And when you notice where Carter got himself into the lane. Whoa.
Jarvis Hayes, again, he has 21. He is 5 for 5 here in the 3rd quarter. And Phil Robinson calling a double technical as Mikey Moore and Etan Thomas got involved.
That's Mikey Moore. And Washington's Etan Thomas.
Yeah, we'll take a look. These are the 2 right here. Let's see what happens there.
And Eddie Jordan is saying, why Etan Thomas? Why is he hit with a technical? And Eddie has a very valid point.
I'm not sure, Marv, that it didn't happen at half court, too, where they started maybe bumping a little bit more.
And here's Carter for 3. Long rebound played by Kidd. Gives it right back to Carter. Carter draws the triple team, so Kidd is open. Yes! That's a 2. He had a foot on the line. The game is tied at 67.
Pretty good job of playing point guard, though, by Carter. He's recognizing that the Wizards are really starting to run, as you touched on, 3 guys that trip at him.
Boy, it's a jump shooting marathon as Stevenson knocks it down to give Washington a 2-point look out. That pass off the mark. Thomas looking to power past Collins. Last touch by Collins.
If you like free throws, Marv, you've tuned into the wrong game tonight. Wow.
So you free throw shooting fans out there not getting your money's worth.
Jump shooters are, though, both of them at 53%.
And apparently there is a problem with the clock. Shot clock just shows 22 seconds. That is not correct. Official Phil Robinson over to the scorer's table.
For those shot clock fans out there, they will get it right.
They have now put 16 on the 24. Stevenson clears out the left side. Jamison, there's a 3-point attempt. That's quickly to the front court. Moore on the finger roll. Wizards looking for a traveling violation, but Moore was fouled.
One of the things the Wizards have continued to do pretty well is to balance the floor at the defensive end. So you're really not seeing the traditional down the floor and get it right on the first pass to the basket type fast break layup. And you see these guys bumping again, and there's a little push out. Same two guys getting to know one another, Thomas and Moore.
Tom Thomas, who has had his disagreements with teammate Brendan Haywood. I could see Haywood checking in and saying to Mikey Moore, "You are correct." But now Michael Ruffin will come on for Eton Thomas. Moore trying to tie the game. Washington up by a point. Ruffin on the floor for the first time. Jamison, played by Moore, has that beautiful shot. It's uncanny how he is able to get it away from all angles along the baseline.
And from a defender's standpoint, Marv, you just don't know when he's going to shoot the ball, which makes it, you can put a body on him.
Nice play, and Mikey Moore was able to follow that play. A lot of times guys will have their heads turned, will not expect the pass when the ball is in the hands of a scorer, but Carter was able to lead Moore with that pass.
And Lawrence Frank had Josh Boone heading towards the scorer's table, but after Mikey's Moore's dunk just then, he wants to ride him a little bit more.
The correct score is 71-70. Washington. Apparently there was an incorrect score up there a moment ago. 5.5 left in the third. Kid's pass deflected short. Here's Stevenson going all the way. Nice move by Deshaun Stevenson.
That extra dribble just then coming down the middle of the floor. Vince Carter not sure which direction he was going to go, but there's a right-handed player who crosses at the last second. Carter just found himself well under the basket, not a factor defensively.
Moore backs up and hits. Strong third quarter for Mikey Moore. All 10 of his points here in the third.
We've had some blast outs, huh? First Vince, then RJ, now Mikey Moore's turn.
Stevenson able to penetrate and is fouled. Stevenson to the line. Foul on Collins.
You see Carter trying to make a decision. He's well under the basket, though, right there. You have to stop a guard, try to get him 15 feet out, and make him contest and do something a little differently. Get him out of his comfort zone. That was way too easy for Stevenson.
Stevenson 4 of 5 at the line. And now Antoine Wright will come on for Richard Jefferson, who leads with 16 points. Indiana now leads Boston 88-75 in the fourth. Pacers score the first 10 points of the fourth quarter. And Orlando putting Memphis away 97-64 early fourth quarter. The Magic on top.
I'm not sure Indiana's done yet, Bob. They seem to want to be getting out of the playoffs, but they may have a run left.
Ruffin with the rebound and tripped up. Not a good foul by Moore. And that it is number 4.
That's the one thing you don't want having to take yourself out of the game for is the fouls. Especially Lawrence Frank had made a nice decision there to keep Josh Boone off the floor for Mikey Moore, and it paid off with a couple of extra buckets. Those fouls will just put you right on the bench.
So Boone has come on. Boone with Collins and Wright up front. Kidd and Carter at the guards. Daniels blocked by Boone. Nets down by 2. Here's Kidd. Rebounded by Jamison. The steal by Kidd. Kidd gets to the rebound.
Can't believe it. He missed that layup. You can see half a smile. He's still...
Carter backing up, stepped out of bounds.
Well, the facial reaction by Kidd. He thought this was down, and everybody else did too. Was right on target. Comes in, steals it, stays with the play. Though that's like a typical Jason Kidd type of move. Obviously, you want to see the bucket go down, but never quitting on a play. Still kind of shaking his head a little bit, though, Marvin. How do you miss the layup, he's saying to himself.
But the Nets give it right back with their 16th turnover. Wizards have only 6 turnovers. Hayes, very difficult angle shot, and his first miss of the third quarter. Washington by 2 with 3.5 remaining in the third. Carter, yes, little backup move, and Vince Carter continues his exploits. 33 points on 13 of 24 shooting. The game is tied at 74. Jamison with a runner.
Yep, that's going to go the other way.
Offensive foul.
And there's where Vince Carter decided to take a shot right to the chest, Marvin, that play. You'll notice the difference right now. He steps across, holds his ground, and takes the hit and goes down with it. A good defensive effort there by VC.
Second foul on Jamison. They are one-time brothers-in-law. They still have a very close relationship. Antoine Jamison and Vince Carter, teammates at North Carolina. Shot clock down to 5. Right. And back comes Hayes. Tied at 74, just under 3 left in the third. Here's Jamison. We are seeing the entire repertoire from Antoine Jamison, who has 21 points. Had a solid game last night, 27 against the Cavaliers. Washington losing its 3rd straight. They've dropped 4 of their last 5. Wright gets inside and pops it out. Carter for 3. Yes. That's his 7th three-pointer. And the Nets lead 77 to 75. The franchise record for the Nets is 9, held by Carter. Did it earlier in the season, back in December, against Memphis. Off the steal, here's Kidd. He's fouled by Daniels. Washington team without Gilbert Arenas, out for the rest of the season following arthroscopic knee surgery. Caron Butler sidelined with a broken bone in his right hand. Wizards have lost 3 in a row, 4 of their last 5 games. They are 4 games in front of the Nets. Washington in the number 6 spot in the Eastern Conference. There's Hayes from way downtown, rebounded by Carter. Lawrence Frank is Marcus Williams at the point. Williams and Carter at the guards. Coach John Knockbar up front with Josh Boone and Clifford Robinson. Nets lead by 2. Oh, that pass surprised Carter. And here's Taylor ahead of the field. The game is tied.
Yeah, and not only that, Mark, but the reaction or lack thereof of going after the basketball and getting back on defense. That's something that Lawrence Frank wants to see from his side there.
Richard Jefferson, who had the hot hand in the third quarter, getting set to check back in. Shot clock to 3. Carter is fouled. The block on Ruffin. Carter had nowhere to go along the baseline.
Yeah, this is just making something where nothing exists right here. Forcing the action.
So Carter to the line is Michael Ruffin, who was involved in one of the most embarrassing plays of the season in the final seconds of a game against Toronto a week ago. Wizards up by a point. Time running down. Get a look at it right here. Off The steal. Ruffin attempts to toss the ball into the air to allow time to run out, but apparently fanned on the toss, ends up with Mo Peterson hitting a three to tie the game at the end of regulation, and the Raptors went on to win it in overtime. I have never seen anything like that before.
Neither have I. I mean, that was just one of the craziest plays you'll ever see, I think, in NBA basketball.
Clifford Robinson on the foul, and now Richard Jefferson replaces Vince Carter, who leads with 38 points, 14 of 25 from the field, 7 from downtown, along with 9 rebounds and 5 assists. Hayes pops it out. Here's Taylor, nowhere to go. Stevenson with the shot clock running down. That's a three-point attempt, and the Nets are on it.
And I'm still surprised, Marv, at the beginning of this fourth quarter that neither one of these teams has made a decision. There's a push-off, I think, by Marcus Williams. Neither one of these teams has really made an intent to go to the free throw line or in the middle of the floor to get to the line. And you're going to see right here, you're going to see a push-off, or the results of a push-off there to get free. Clifford Robinson picked up the dribble right after half court, which is really a no-no. You don't want to stop there.
Turnover number 19, a high number for the Nets. Sengaila wide open and way off. Nets with the ball, they lead by 2. Beautiful pass from Williams. He had very little room to operate to get it to Josh Boone. Lead pass for Robinson, and that leads to a holding foul.
You get the impression that Michelle is forced to listen to us also?
Perhaps. Producer Frankie Grace telling her she would be shown on camera. Now she go back inside.
Put the headset on and you'll get a couple more shots.
She's had enough. Sengaila on that non-shooting foul, and bad pass that is deflected. Last touch by the Nets. 84-80 Nets, 3 minutes in, fourth quarter. Antonio Daniels and Deshaun Stevenson in the backcourt. Darius Sengaila up front with Etan Thomas and Antoine Jamison. Stevenson put 3 on a catch and shoot and kept alive by Jamison.
Well, it was terrific work on the offensive glass by Jamison just then.
Jamison for 3. And the Wizards doing their share from beyond that three-point line. That's their 9th. They're 9 for 21, shooting just under 50%. And the loss last night to the Cavs, they shot the ball well at 51%. Here's Williams. Boone with the rebound.
They better get back quickly because the Wizards starting to push.
Here's Jamison for 3, and he banks it home. That ties the game.
Where'd that come from? He's smiling even more now.
27 points for Jamison.
He was laughing at someone over on the Nets bench, Marv, the last trip down the floor.
Robinson for 3. Rebounded by Thomas. Antoine Jamison has knocked down 5 from three-point territory. Stevenson draws the foul. Hit on a reach-in. Foul on Jefferson. That's 3 on Jefferson. Here comes Kidd with Carter and Collins.
And this is the one I always like, Marv. Not quite dead center. That says it all right there.
An outstanding night for Antoine Jamison, who's made it back from a strained left knee, sat out 12 games. Washington went 4-8 without Antoine. Stevenson Nets and Wizards tied at 86. Kidd pass on a 3. Jefferson able to knock it down. But Jason Kidd with assist number 16.
Mark, forget about the free throws tonight, okay? I know you're begging for the free throws and guys to get to the line. I think it's just going to be a shootout.
I'm here for free throws. Here's Daniels, and he is rejected. Taking a look at what has taken place at the line after this rejection by Carter. That's his 3rd block of the night, but the Nets only 12 foul shots. Wizards just 14. Both clubs pumping shots for the most part from outside and way outside. Firing up threes off the steal. Kidd with the lead. Jefferson cannot score, but it's tipped home.
And a terrific play by Kidd. Once again, we touched on it, not quitting on the play. A terrific pass to Richard Jefferson and a better follow by Jason Kidd to get that very much needed bucket to give a little stretch to the scoreboard for the Nets.
'86 looking to keep pace with what appears to be victories for both Indiana and Orlando tonight. Nets in 7th place, game in front of the 8th place Magic, 2 over 9th place Indiana. Here's Jamison. Sangaila. So Darius Sangaila shows the touch. His 3rd field goal has 6 points. The Nets lead it 91-88.
Nice decision, too, by Jamison just then. He was in traffic driving through the middle of the floor.
Jamison defending on Jefferson. Oh, shot clock down to 3. Carter trying to get it to Moore. Handled by Sangaila. Nets continue to turn it over. And now the foul is committed as Daniels was shoved. Foul on Carter. Nets now have 21 turnovers, leading to 32 points for the Wizards. Antonio Daniels has been very quiet tonight. First appearance at the line, has just 5 points, along with 7 assists.
And that's why, Marv, when you talk about turnovers, especially coming off a game like last night, where it was a poor performance by the Nets. You know, Lawrence Frank coming into this game would rather see them be careful with the ball, protect it. They haven't done that. They're still in a basketball game here, but if they can squeeze a win out, you can kind of push aside some of those illnesses, if you will. But if not, this kind of builds a snowballing effect on the negative side.
That lead is down to 1. Carter with a runner. Carter rebounds and gets it to Jefferson. Not able to hit the 3.
Wow.
Oh, that was kept alive. And Mikey Moore put it down.
A terrific play by Carter again just then. The slap at the ball, not to rebound it. The recognition of getting off his feet and at the same time understanding that Mikey Moore was wide open for a slap pass.
Here's Daniels. Moore able to hustle it down.
Not a good shot for the Wizards there. No one on their team going after that offensive rebound in the corner.
Carter being played now by Daniels as he backs his way. Here's Moore. His first miss. He hit his previous 5 shots. Washington in possession, now trailing by 3 with 5 minutes to play in the 4th. Jamison shot blocked and a foul. Collins fouled in the act of a 3-point shot, so he has 3 free throws, does Antoine Jamison. And a look at the Toyota Player of the Game update. Vince Carter, well in command with his 38 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists. Jamison can tie the game right here. Antoine Jamison has an outstanding 29 points, 5 from downtown. And the the game is tied. You can continue to text your vote to 55222 or vote online at yesnetwork.com and select the Toyota Player of the Game. Just under 5 left in the fourth. They clear it out for Carter. Goes to the step back and hits. 40 points for Carter.
And that was a smooth one there. A little fall away, which they prefer him going to the basket. But boy, when you get that lift as he did in the extension, that'll set up a drive sooner or later for him.
Vince Carter with his 16th 40-point game as a net. What a shot by Jamison. And the game is tied at 95.
How about getting your shot off with a little bit of traffic around you?
Jefferson for 3. Yes. 22 points for Jefferson. The 16th 3 for the Nets to tie a franchise record that they set earlier this season against Memphis. Jamison. And a foul is called against Washington. It is on Eton Thomas. Antoine Jamison now playing the role of Vince Carter, as he has been firing away, and understandably so, every time he gets his hands on the ball. Correction, the 16 earlier this season against the Wizards back in late February. So the Nets with 16 from downtown. They have a 3-point lead.
Big possession right here.
Jefferson again for 3. And the long rebound is handled by Moore. So the Nets have the new clock. Timeout called by Lawrence Frank. Jefferson, 6 40-point games for Carter this season.
16 of the 54 recorded in Nets history. Not too shabby.
Here's Kidd for 3. And again, a long rebound is handled by Moore.
I guess this is a important, very long possession.
Kidd will try again for 3. And back come the Wizards, just under 3 minutes to play in the fourth. Hayes. Back comes Kidd. He has Jefferson on the wing, and he decides to pull it back.
That's a good decision, too, because he had Daniels back looking at him chest to chest. So nice decision there by RJ. Good cut.
Kidd gets inside. Will it count? No. Jim Clark says no. Will not get the continuation call, and is hearing it from the crowd. Foul on Jamison, that's his 3rd. And it is a non-shooting foul. The Wizards pick up their 4th team foul. Nets also have 4.
And the bench wanted that call. There's no question about that. I'm not sure, the key became whether Kidd got down to the floor or not. And I think he may have just hit the floor.
And now holding foul on Stevenson, so that puts Washington over the limit.
Puts Mikey Moore to the line with a good sharp cut.
Moore a 68% free throw shooter. 3 of 5 tonight. The Nets 10 for 13. At the line.
This is where Jefferson and Collins have to be ready to go quickly, Marv, in case he misses to get a slap back. They didn't go to the lane.
Those are important free throws missed by Moore as we come up on 2 minutes to play in the fourth. Sangaila played by Moore. Sangaila with a series of fakes. Beautiful move.
To hold that pivot foot down is the key on that particular play, because guys in this league, Jamison, we've seen him do it all night long. When they get that body down deep, they're very good at using the touch against the player defensively.
Here's more from Kidd. You saw Kidd, who had missed his previous 2 3-point attempts, pass up on a three, and then a beautiful move to find the cutting Moore. 17 assists for Kidd. The Nets up 100-97. They doubled up on Jamison. Daniels passed on a long shot and gave it up to Sangaila. Good play by Jamison. Rather by Daniels, rather. And a timeout is called by the Wizards. Timeouts remaining. Washington down to 1 left. They have a 20. Nets with the full and a 20. And both teams over the foul limit. Hayes. Boy, he's had the hot hand. Jarvis Hayes, 10 of 17, 23 points. The net lead is down to 1 with 1:15 to go in the fourth.
Terrific elevation there, too, off that one good bounce, Mark, to get his left foot to plant. A nice confident shot. Good call from Eddie Jordan and company down the other end.
Carter makes the turn. Carter with the lead. Here's Moore, lays it home. Mikey Moore from Vince Carter. Carter with 8 assists. He's 2 assists away from a triple-double. 102-99 Nets. Daniels for 3. Rebounded by Jefferson. Nets should be in no hurry here.
Wizards do not have to foul right now. They just have to stop the Nets. A huge possession right here down the stretch.
35 seconds to play in the fourth. See Carter checking the clock. Draws the double. And a bad pass. And a bad foul.
Well, that was supposed to go over the top to Richard Jefferson on the right wing, headed towards the corner. Unfortunately, Vince Carter threw a line drive pass rather than an arc. Watch how line drive this boom. And at this point, nice play by Jamison to catch that ball with one hand. And Mikey Moore was kind of tangled up, setting a screen.
So Jamison to the line. He is a 74% free throw shooter, 5 of 5 tonight. 28.3 to go in the fourth.
And there's Vince after the play. He knows exactly whose fault that was.
That's with a 22nd turnover. The net lead is 1. And a full timeout is taken by Lawrence Frank. Carter checks. Time remaining. Nets up by 1. They're going to hold for as long as they can.
3-second differential approximately right now. It's all about getting a bucket. It's all about the stops, depending on what color shirt you're wearing.
Shot clock to 5. Here comes Carter. Delivers to Moore again. Could not convert, but he did draw the foul.
Yeah, same type of set just then. That time coming from the right. Another perfect read by Mikey Moore and Vince Carter. Watch it develop. Here comes the screen, and then we're going to cut down the middle of the floor. Bang, right there, and he gets clobbered. So Mikey Moore has to make some free throws.
Sangaila on the foul. Moore just 3 of 6, a 68% free throw shooter. And his missed free throws have really hurt.
Once again, Marv, you got to think if you're a player in the Nets right now. Collins and Kidd underneath. He just short on that one right there, barely getting into the net and rim. So you have to really cheat out a little bit and try to go for.
Well, he's missed his last 4, but Carter on the loose ball. The hustle by Carter, a huge play, and he's fouled with 4 and 4/10 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter, and Carter will go to the line. The foul on Daniels. Carter 3 of 4 at the free throw line.
Yeah, what makes this play, though, Marv, is that you may have seen it quickly. Did you notice how Jason Kidd went after the rebound and brought his man into the lane? Now watch, right here, the ball kicks away. So that allows Carter to go after the ball because of Kidd's effort.
He's an 80% free throw shooter. Well, the Nets in fourth quarters, in closing minutes of games, have been very poor at the line. They have not been a good free throw shooting team overall. But Carter hits the first. Washington does have the timeout left. It's a 2-point net lead. Hits on both clutch free throws for Vince Carter. Now, the Nets have not been a team that has been able to get stops, particularly in final minutes of games. Let's see what happens here. Jamison with the shot, and the game is tied. He hits the three.
And I think they're going to give another couple of seconds or tenths of a second on the clock, maybe 0.5.
Washington was also looking for a foul. And the question is, from a strategic point of view, do you try and commit a foul in the final seconds to put the Wizards at the line for 2 shots?
Well, clearly they had opportunities to foul just then if they wanted to. But because here you see there's an opportunity right there for Collins. Another one by Kidd. He could have come around and swatted at him also. They elect not to use that strategy. Right here, let's see if the foot.
He's clearly in 3 points.
It's a 3.
And they added a fraction of a second. 1.1 remaining. The Nets using a timeout. They will inbound in front court. And they'll have a chance to win it with 1 1/10 seconds remaining. You may recall that game in Washington back in November. Vince Carter, at the end of regulation, hit that 3 from straight away that tied the game to send it into overtime. This was the play right here. Nockbar getting it to Carter, and he got the roll off the back of the rim.
You don't get many friendlier rolls than that one right there, but they'll take it. I wouldn't be surprised to see them go with lob too here, Marv. That's always an option.
All right, they're on their feet here at Continental Airlines Arena. Carter is down low. Kidd with the inbounds. There's the lob, but it hit the rim, and we're headed to overtime. Thomas and Collins, and it's controlled by the Nets. 5-minute overtime. Game at 104 apiece. Carter played tightly by Stevenson. Here's Moore to set the pick.
Same play. Wizards waiting for that, though.
There's Kidd for 3. He's been way off. Rebounded by Stevenson. Kidd now 3 of 10 from the field.
And you look at these first possessions, too, Marv, are so important for each team in the overtime. And Jamison obviously getting the touches. Let's see what Collins can do with them.
Jamison blocked by Collins, but it's recovered. There's Daniels. Off-balance shot, rebounded by Carter.
Well, that was a terrific guess by Collins defensively.
There's Jefferson, and he's hit by Singailan.
Fouls number 9, Darius Singailan, his 3rd.
So that's 3 on Singailan. It's a non-shooting foul. Nets will put it in play. Both clubs hitting their 3-pointers here tonight. It has been a perimeter festival. Jefferson is fouled again. This time he was hacked. So Richard Jefferson taking it to the rim here in overtime. Thomas on the foul, and Jefferson will shoot 2.
And this is how you win games in overtime. This night has been nothing but jump shots for the most part for both of these teams. And Jefferson finding a way to get to the free throw line. Smart plays.
Richard is 2 of 2 at the line. 72% free throw shooter, and the Nets take a 1-point lead. I mentioned the outside shots, particularly from 3-point land. Nets have hit 16 threes to tie a franchise record. Washington has hit 11 from 3-point land. Nets 106, the Wizards 104. Injury hit Wizards hanging in here. Jamison this time comes up short on a 3-point attempt. Kidd tried to save it and stepped out of bounds. He lost the dribble and was trying to regain control, so the ball back to Washington.
And you take a look at Kidd going after this one, because what he's trying to do there is control the basketball and then push it at the same time. Unfortunately, just couldn't get it.
Stevenson off the ball fake, lost it, but a foul. It's an offensive foul.
Carter again, Marv, stepping across. That's one of the things, you know, Eddie Jordan not happy with the call, but one of the things that Lawrence Frank wanted to protect the paint a little bit better. Boy, a lot of traffic there, huh?
Foul on Stevenson. Nets with the ball and a 2-point lead. Minute and a half gone by in the 5-minute overtime. Marv Albert, Jim Spanarkel from Continental Airlines Arena. Carter, yes, and the foul. Another assist for Jason Kidd off a beautiful setup. Foul on Daniels. And for Kidd, that's 18 assists.
Look at the intent, though, Marv. The Kidd brings it to the corner and into the lane very quickly, gets the corner pass going towards Carter. Much better intent there with the dribble, doing something with it.
Nets lead 108-104. And a timeout called by the Wizards. Good play by Kidd on the deflection, delivers to Jefferson on the move, and let's see what the call is. He was fouled, but they say not in the act, because he was looking to pass back the other way. The foul is on Jamison, so it is a non-shooting foul, but it is the 4th team foul. Well, no, wait a moment. They say, at first it appeared he was saying no, he was not looking to shoot, and they changed the call, so Jefferson is at the line. Jarvis Hayes coming on for Eton Thomas. Jefferson 5 for 5 at the line. He has 25 points. So the Nets have scored 6 straight here in overtime and lead 110-104, just under 3 to play in OT.
The Nets have been attacking, but they're not allowing the penetration by the Wizards.
Hayes, it's a rare miss in the second half for Hayes.
You want to be smart right here, Marv. You want to continue to attack and be aggressive, because there's plenty of time left in overtime right here. So the Nets want to milk the clock. It's a little balancing act right now.
Whoa. Kidd had the ball knocked away and recovered. Beautiful move by Kidd. The Nets lead 112-104. They've taken command in overtime. It leads to a timeout called by Eddie Jordan.
The Kidd just making the plays. Not his best shooting performance tonight, but boy, was he all over the place when it counted with the assists and rebounding. And Rich Delatry, strength and conditioning coach behind. He likes the action also. And watch Kidd now, Marv. He slips down, somehow keeps it. Now the beauty of this one is he goes to the left hand and rolls it right over the front rim. But we've seen Kidd the last couple of times that he's touched the ball with an impact going towards the basket and making good, solid basketball plays down the stretch and into overtime.
And 1 point away from his 11th triple-double of the season, number 86 during the course of his career. 9 points with 15 rebounds and 18 assists. A very patient Nancy Newman standing by back in our guest studios. The Nissan postgame show with Nancy Newman and Michelle Beadle with postgame interviews and highlights from around the NBA. Where's Nancy going to go, right? Let's see the end of the game.
Absolutely. Hopefully she's sitting, not standing around, right?
Exactly.
More relaxed.
Yes. Reminder, Tuesday night on My 9, it's the Nets and the Wizards in the second of this home and home. We'll be in Washington. We'll have it for you starting at 7 o'clock. Nets and the Wizards, Tuesday at 7 on WWOR-TV, My 9. Coming up on 2 minutes to play in overtime. 8 unanswered by the Nets. And they lead 112-104. Singaila, he is fouled by Moore. Moore thought it was all ball, but that's number 6. So Mikey Moore has fouled out. He leads with 17 points. And here's the applause from the crowd. Strong second half at the offensive end for Moore. And he'll be replaced by Clifford Robinson.
He reacted to that, what he believed to be not a foul, and as he looked over at Lawrence Frank kind of put his one index finger up to his lips to tell him to be quiet.
Yes, there have been some technicals picked up by Mikey Moore, right, reacting to calls. Singaila, an 82% free throw shooter. Singaila hits on both, and the Nets now lead 112-106, just under 2 to play.
A little trap look against Kidd.
And again, the Nets playing the clock. No rush. Minute 45 left. Shot clock down to 6. Here's Kidd for 3. Kidd with the save, and he's able to deflect it off either Singaila or Hayes, but the Nets maintain possession, and they'll have the new 24.
Once again, it's a basketball play, Marv, that Kidd tracks down his errant shot, and you want to see a little luck, too. He gets the ball, he works to create this luck. Now, watch when he hits it off the Wizards. Watch this ball now. If that comes down and hits him on a fly, it's back to the Wizards' ball. So he gets a good play here. He makes it happen. He creates his own opportunity and then gets that little bit of luck when that ball finally comes down and doesn't hit him.
Right, he's out of bounds, so, yeah.
He's looking the other way.
In fact, yeah, he had no idea
where it was, yeah.
And his teammates enjoyed it. So the Nets maintain possession, and they have the new shot clock. Minute 36 remaining in the 5-minute overtime. 6-point net lead. Next foul puts Wizards over the limit.
Most important part of that Kidd play was that shot hit the rim, so they had to pick up the additional seconds to take off the clock here.
Now down to 5 on the 24. Robinson for 3. Yes! Clifford Robinson with 2 clutch shots. One late fourth quarter and here in overtime, both from three-point land. Hayes fires up and hits from downtown. 115-109. It's back to a 6-point advantage.
Well, they had the 3-possession game where they wanted it for a second. Whoa.
And the Nets turn it over. Here comes Daniels. Jamerson for 3. Carter bothered that shot. And a foul is called. The Nets' 17th of the game. And that is a new franchise record for most three-pointers. That's helped by the overtime session. But they're 17 of 36 from beyond that three-point line. And for Vince Carter, a triple-double. 44 points, 15 rebounds, and 10 assists. Here's Hayes for 3. And this game is still alive. A 4-point net lead, 41 seconds remaining in overtime.
Whoa.
That was a very dangerous pass, but Carter is fouled. And again at the line for important free throws. 45 points for Carter. So he is one off his season high. Now 6 of 8 at the line. Both these clubs putting up numbers tonight. And that equals a season high for Vince Carter. 118-112. Nets by 6. Here's Hayes with an off-balance 3. That was an impossible angle shot on the move for Jarvis Hayes. And there it is. And he's well aware of it. Jason Kidd and Vince Carter each with triple doubles. The first time that 2 players on the same team have come up with triple doubles in a single game since '89 when Jordan and Pippen pulled it off. 8-point net lead. We come up on 10 seconds to play. Stevenson shoots the 3. And here's Hayes for 3. Sangaila with the tip. Sangaila on the follow with 4 seconds left. 6-point lead, and that will do it. Eddie Jordan with a wave over to Lawrence Frank. An exciting game in overtime. The Nets able to come away with the win over the injury-hit Washington Wizards. And Vince is with Jim Spinarca. Let's go to Jim.
Thanks, Marv. Vince, let's just start. This game was going up and down, a lot of jump shooting pretty much the entire night. What was the difference in overtime from your perspective?
I think our execution, first and foremost, and limiting them one shot, one bad shot, and going back down to continue to execute and run the clock, and get to the free throw line as much as possible. We shot a lot of jump shots, but we tried to get to in the paint in overtime and get some easy ones.
How big a bounce back is this for you tonight, coming off the last night's 30-point blowout in Chicago?
Yeah, we really got beat bad, and we just wanted to come back out and compete and put the Nets basketball team back on the floor.
This is the first time that teammates in the same game have had a triple-double. You snuck one out tonight, and Jason Kidd also on its free throw since Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen did it in 1989. How about some comments on that?
Well, we were trying hard to get Jay the ball to get him his triple-double, and I asked Jay we would try to kill 2 birds with one stone. I tried to throw him the ball and get him a basket as well as my assist, and he missed badly. But it's pretty exciting to really to make history.
So you're going down a selfish pass now, huh? Throwing a little passing around.
Trying. Anything to get a win.
There you go. Congratulations on a great night.
Thank you.